Shalom, shalom. Shema. I'm going to start by, of course, giving honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. That one said, Apostle Great Millstone, we will teach well. Because I shalom to the brothers, as well as a few sisters like tune in, listening, and learning. And just getting right into it. The title of the lesson reads, the death of the Lord's saints, being counted for glory. There's a lot going on dealing with prophecy right now. And, according to some of the prophecies, it's written that some of the men of the Lord is gonna die. You know, you know, um, but the death, pretty much the death of the Lord is like the death of the men of the Lord is twofold. You're gonna have some men that physically die for the Lord, being martyrs, for Yahweh Shemel Shah. But also, even to the extent of us being in this thing, enduring. The scriptures say that how we died, how died deadly, man. Not in that specific precept, he wasn't talking about literally, but he was talking about on the basis of just having to deal with the bullshit of the society or the current kingdom that he was living in. Being under oppression under our enemies, but is weaker than us. But we have to sit here and suffer. Unrighteous decrees and laws that should be, you know, um, you know, in another fashion, set in another way. So that's kind of twofold. Because we us being men of the Lord, we suffer. And it's like death sometimes. Sometimes you might get in the spiritual low. You might be in the financial low. You might be, you know, lacking, some, what I mean, a woman or something. You might get depressed. What I mean. So it's many ways to die. In this kingdom. In these various kingdoms that we dwell in the midst of the four corners of the earth, man. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. It says, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 57 and verse 1. It says, the righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. Yeah, so none consider that, okay, this man died, maybe it's for his own good. Because we teach this all the time, and it's prophesied, of bad times to come, which we see, those times peaking at us, more and more as years come, dealing with everything that's going on right now. It says none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come, and evil, once again, Eve meaning time, and ill meaning bad. So some of these men, you gotta consider, like, it's all according to your lot. You might not be able to handle, what's the evils that's to come, and then the Lord, put you at rest there. But it's all according to how the Lord built your spirit, and how his dealings with you with your lot. Um, it says he shall enter into peace. Yeah, so even after the men of the Lord died, just like when Yahweh shot, was crucified, you still have people scoffing, unbelieving, you see, mocking. You're gonna have that again today, but once again, they are taken from the evils to come and are given into, into the rest bed, into peace, man. It says he shall enter into peace, right? Because you gotta remember, this is the last captivity, so they not gonna have to wake up and Lord send a spirit back down to earth, and what I mean, and now they gotta go through another captivity under the Moabites or under the Russians, or, what I mean. No, it's not gonna be none of that. After Esau, kingdom is destroyed, and the Lord drops some missiles on a couple of these other countries, and deliver up his elect. That's it. We going into the kingdom. The scriptures say that the kingdom is gonna last forever. Ain't gonna be no heathen nations, coming together maliciously and finding out ways, different ways to take down the Israelites in the kingdom. It's not gonna be none of that. It's gonna be an everlasting kingdom where kings and priests they live forever. Have a everlasting covenant with the Lord, and have an everlasting establishment with the earth to where the kingdom to be able to last forever. But it says, he shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in uprightness. Right. So none consider that, a man dying for the Lord, is unto peace, man. But it is, you know. Um, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and verse 1. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh by Shemiah Shah. Right? The Lord is our keeper, man. Shield and buckler. The angels are camped around about them that fear him. You see, so the Lord got our back just as long as we, actually, sincerely fear the Lord, and He know if we sincerely fear Him or not. But it says, "For the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh Shah, and there shall no torment touch them." So hey, no torment, man. The scripture says the Lord shall not give you more than what you can bear. Of course, it's gonna get hard, because we have to strive unto death, against sin, man. We have to really take it there with the Lord and show him that, we not with this, that we with, the spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shah. It's going to come to the point to where the Lord, is going to make us have to, show, if we actually sincere or not, all leading all the way up until, the hour of temptation. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Right? So hey, their departure, their death is taken for misery. A lot, brother gonna, might gonna get crucified, and people gonna look at it like, he was a miserable man. You're gonna have a lot of, lack of knowledge and unbelief going on, and especially in the times that we coming into. Because people ain't gonna know what the hell is going on. But at the end of it, we still gonna have the answers. You know, um, it says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die. Right? Just like I was shot. You know, and in front of the unwise men, it seemed like he would just, being disobedient to the law, the Romans, not listening or whatever the case was. But really, it was a whole, important aspect of the timeline going on. To where Yahushua had to play out that role in order for us to even, get the kingdom. You know, but inside of the unwise, they seem to die. But once again, like we just read, their departure is like we just read in Isaiah chapter 57. It says, he shall enter into peace. So you ain't, Lord taking him away once again from the evils to come. It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and the departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction. But they are in peace, right? Once again, they are in peace, man. Because after this is the kingdom. Where that man who died for the Lord, he about to be able to live forever and be one of the first fruits to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And so imagine just how great that story of his death is going to be in the kingdom. That's the Lord, the scripture So, I was having some trouble with the live stream, like, but I'm back. Um, say me. But this is Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, "In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction. But they are at peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality." There you go, right there. And we just gotta, just remember, the next kingdom to come is about to last forever. So you know, um, just gonna say that the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. So that their hope being the immortality. Their faith, being that the Lord, gonna allow us to inherit immortality. You know, um, you know what I mean. So it wouldn't really hurt. You know what I mean, for us to die this one last time, just so that we can live forever. And that's the mindset. Of the men of the Lord. And as we die, you know, uh, 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 pretty much every day, man. Suffering, bearing, these kingdoms, man. These the various kingdoms across the four corners of the earth. That was built in wickedness, man. But it says having been a little chastised, right? Because the scriptures say, the sufferings of the present time is not compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us. Because don't nobody know what we doing. To the naked eye, it seems confusing. It seems hard to understand. But really, this is for the kingdom, man. This is this work that we putting in, for the Lord. This is gonna be, you know what I mean, you know, you know what I mean, broadcasted in the kingdom, man. The scripture said, the scripture say, I was gonna get this before the lesson had closed out, but the scripture say, that, the Lord shall get thee fame in every land wherein thou was put to shame. You know, all of these people, hey, and all these 2/3 too, man. All these people who helped persecute the prophets, and who scoffed at the prophets, mocked them, mocked the name of the Lord, all these different things. They gonna have to, turn back and acknowledge what we did, man. For the Lord. The Lord is gonna get us fame in every land, man. Forever. That fame it ain't gonna be like no American fame where you know what I mean, a nigga get on the track and Esau signed him, with some major label deal, and then a few years later, that nigga fall off and nobody even know what the hell happened to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be like that. This fame is gonna last forever. You know what I mean? So considering, that, you know, um, whatever type of work that we put in for the Lord, and not just the mortars, but also, the men who sit here and endure all the way until the chariots come. That amount of work that was put in, it's being recorded right now as we speak, but it's also going to be broadcasted and put forth as glorious acts, in the kingdom. Same as how Yahushua, did in ancient Rome. That was a glorious act, even to the naked eye. You got a lot of Edomite scholars and stuff that study what Yahushua did. You know what I mean? Even though they don't have the full context, some of them might not have the full context. They probably still think that he just some Edomite looking, pale skin looking, person that was all soft spoken and stuff. But even with that being said, look at how much fame the Lord was able to accomplish, and he haven't even came back yet. So what I mean. It's just a matter of time that the Lord show forth. That the men of the Lord works, man. That they had some type of held some type of weight and have some meaning to it. Nowadays, in this captivity, fame is just, the scriptures say folly is set in great dignity. So that's the the as much fame as you gonna get is you're dealing with folly. You know, but in the kingdom, fame ain't gonna be set on folly, as such, but it's gonna be set more so, on the fear of the Lord. You know, Um, oh yeah, we quoting that scripture. It say, "Folly is set in a high place," and no, it says, "Folly is set in great dignity, and the righteous sit in a low place." Paraphrasing. So folly is set over the righteous, man. You know, but the Lord is getting ready to excuse me, the Lord is getting ready to switch the roles. Folly is gonna be, the Lord gonna set the prophets over folly, man. You know, it says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. It's gonna be a great reward, man, for the works that we putting forth. It says, for Yahweh shall prove them and found them worthy for himself. Being proved, even the martyrs, man. Being proven. Can you handle, what I'm about to put you forth in order for you to, receive glory, unto the kingdom. The Lord, is reproving us, man. We're going through a reproving process, in order to be fit, as those spirits, that the first fruits, the Lord checking to see if we them first fruits, for us to be able to inherit the kingdom. It says, as it says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh shall prove them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. Right, so just like you would sacrifice, the lamb. You can also compare that to how Yahweh would sacrifice. But just how you sacrifice, would sacrifice a lamb in the ancient times, when the Lord was still dealing with sacrificial laws in that manner. You know, um, that's how the Lord, look at a man, losing his life, for the Lord, just like Yahweh Shah did. The Lord look at that as what it say, um, a burnt offering. You see, diminishing sin, through that burnt offering. But this diminishing the sin, this burnt offering right here, just like Yahweh Shah did, was going to be the set the everlasting life point part, to where this going this is gonna be that last burnt offering unto our sin. We're not gonna have to go to a tabernacle and sacrifice on behalf of us going off. Because we gonna be forever righteous, man. The laws written in our inward parts. You know, um, this is book of Revelation chapter 20 verse 4, and it says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them which were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, right, a testimony, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark," right? You know, neither have received his mark, going to show that mark plays a big part, in the fear of the Lord, man. The Lord is serious about that, that see him, man. There will be no repentance for it. It just said neither have received his mark. You know, but it says upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they live and reign with Yahweh 1,000 years. You know, and they will, and we, Lord's gonna lead us, man. We will live and reign with Yahushua 1,000 years, going into that 1,000 year period wherein, these heathens and these Edomites is going to build up the kingdom, and then the Edomites will be destroyed, man. You know, that's what that 1,000 years is talking about. But this is the book of First Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 16. It says for the but I pulled that because it read how some be martyred for Yahushua. But it says this book of First Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 16. It says, "For the Lord Himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Yahweh shall rise first, man." So those martyrs is gonna be the first ones that's risen with Yahushua, man. When the chariots come back, it says then we it says and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them, right, with Yahushua and the martyrs, the ones that died for Yahushua. It says up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord, right? And that will be the beginning of that 1,000 year period of us reigning with the Lord. But it says and them that's which remain. That's talking about the men who actually ended up escaping. You know, the person might have escaped the persecution, whether it be fully. You know what I mean? The Lord already had you somewhere else at the period of time where, you just escaped the persecution by the skin of your hair, uh, by the hair of your skin. You know what I mean? And now you gotta sit up here and wait and keep enduring all the way up to the chariots come back. Either way it go, we're gonna be caught up on them chariots, whether we die or at the point of persecution or die daily, waiting for the Lord. You know, you know, you know, that's gonna be the deliverance, for the Lord's elect, man. So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse I started at 3. It says, "For consider him that endures such contradiction as sinners against himself," and we gonna endure that today. We already endure that today. You got scoffers, we got people be getting paid to come up against this truth, man. You got people getting paid to come up against this truth, man. Like, how much more ridiculous can you get, man? Like, it says, "For consider him that endureth such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin." Right? So, we ain't resist. We ain't resist yet unto death, man. Unto blood. Striving against sin yet. The Lord, even for the man who's not gonna be martyred, you might suffer a period of time without no food or water or something, man. For you to be able to prove to the Lord, you know what I mean, that you know what I mean, you actually fear him. You never know how what the Lord might put you through, or what I mean, we don't know our full lives yet, because all the prophecies haven't fully came to pass yet. We still waiting on a couple of prophecies, but we gotta strive unto unto blood for this thing, man. All the way up to the hour of temptation, man. That's gonna be the ultimate striving against blood, man. Um, it says ye have not yet resisted unto blood. Let's get this word resist. This is the word for resist in the etymology. It says withstand, someone oppose of things, stop or hinder, right? A moving body. It says resistor, hold out against, right? Make a stand against, like to protest, oppose, to stand back, withstand, take a stand, stand firm, stand, make, or be firm. Of attacks, invasions, right? Evading, invasions, so you gonna have to, keep those things, all the way up until Yahushua come back. I mean, we're gonna have to continue to keep those things, man. Um, keep resisting, all even if it even on our dying bed, if it takes that, but we know that the Lord got our back, you know what I mean. And we know that it's about to be an everlasting kingdom, so you know what I mean. It's not like we just the Lord always been reincarnating us, throughout time, man. But this is gonna be like as reincarnation before we just live forever. So just keeping that in mind, like you know what I mean. Keeping in mind that the devil got a short time, so you know what I mean. It's really just gonna work in our favor, no matter what happens, no matter what pain we have to endure, for this thing. But this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Right? Oh, that's another form of death, man. You never know how long you'll be up in them prisons, FEMA camps or whatever. You know what I mean? That the Lord will put you in a situation. You see, and that would be another way of being counted, dying for the Lord, man. You know, because you will have to sit in there and keep the faith. You might not get no scriptures. You never know what happened, man. Um, it says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." That's the thing, that crown of life, man. That's why I put this precept, being faithful unto death, man. We gotta keep that in mind. Being faithful unto death, we gotta have a mindset of just being faithful unto death, man. No matter what my lot is, no matter what happens, man, I gotta, I gotta prevail, man. I gotta be able to get a victory over all this shit, man. Because the last victory is over death, man. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. So that's what we're looking forward to doing, is getting victory over death ultimately. To have power over death. We don't know how that feels. This is my last precept, and I'm gonna close out. This book of Psalms, chapter 116 and verse 15. It says, "Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of His saints." So that's a precious thing, man. And you can tell just how precious it is. Like, going back to the example of Yahushua. Yahushua hasn't even came back yet. Majority of these people don't even know the true description of Yahushua. But look just how glorious the act of him being crucified, for sins was, man. I mention this all the time. Like, the scriptures is like a top seller. You know, you know, um, what I mean, Esau doing a lot of stuff to try to do away with the scriptures, of course. Because how much attention it's it has gotten over the years, and like, it's a lot of people that's curious about the way that these Edomites is breaking the scriptures down, and how these people acting in the churches, and so forth. So it's like, what I mean. But once again, presence in the sight of the Lord is the death of His saints, man. The Lord, see that as a precious thing, man. Like, as a burnt offering, with a sweet savor unto the Lord. That's pleasing unto the Lord, man. But even us, being even to the extent of us being chastised, that's still, what I mean, being part of the death of His saints. That's still precious to the Lord, man. But that's pretty much it on that. Lord, goodness, edifying thought, able to shall forgive me the spirit of this lesson. Until next time, I say shalom, wa baba ball. Keep enduring, keep pushing, keep the faith. Shalom.